It's football season, and if your plays aren't hitting, I know you're going to be looking elsewhere to get some plays. And I want to help you figure out who you want to buy from and who you want to stay away from when it comes to buying picks from handicappers. Who are the fake guys? I'm going to teach you how to spot that. And here's how I was able to figure this stuff out. Well, over 20 years ago, I used to buy picks from handicappers, and a lot of that time in the market were mostly fake handicappers. And, nowadays, there's actually real guys, real winners that are willing to share their plays. But back in the day, over 20 years ago, when I was buying picks, everybody was just not legit. They were all fake, and I'm gonna teach you how to spot that with these guys today, because nowadays there are legit pick sellers, and there's a reason for that. That nowadays that is the case, and I'll share with you a little bit about that. But that's what I've learned over the years, and since I've been in this game over 20 years, I learned who was faking and who was real, and that's because now I've transitioned into the sharp side. I work with real professional sports bettors that are helping me make my selections every day in the sports book. So I want to teach you how to spot those fake guys. And the number one thing is that you may guess this is that they got the biggest ego. So these guys are the ones who talk about always winning. They probably show off all their cars, show off jewelry, and they put out this big ego so that they're trying to make you think that they're a big deal. So if you see a guy that's trying to tell the world that he's a big deal and that you should follow everything he's doing, more than likely he's not the guy you want to follow when it comes to sports handicapping. And probably because he really needs you to follow him so that he can make more money. So these guys with the big ego, jewelry, cars, trying to be flashy, always talking about how much they win, these are not the guys to follow. Although, that's probably your first instinct is, wow, this guy has all these things, and so I'm going to follow him. And that's the guy you definitely do not want to follow. A real sports professional does not need to flash all these things to tell you go get his picks. And the reason is because he's making money off his plays anyways. But to create another side of income, he's willing to share those plays with you. And he's looking to help you win, right? He doesn't need it, but an extra side of income is always great, right? You want an extra side of income. Wouldn't you accept that? So for something you're already doing. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is these big bets. So if somebody, I know you've seen them on social media where you can see this ticket and it's obvious a lot of people have been faking these tickets. Do not believe it. They're trying to show these big tickets that they won. They're probably making it on Photoshop. I've seen and heard about people doing it. And then if they're not making fake tickets, they're actually putting down this much money at the window or in Vegas or whatever. Guess why they are able to put those bets down? A real professional will not be able to put that big of a bet down. Think of Mattress Mac. He's able to put these really big bets down. Why do you think that is? The reason is because these sports books are loving that guy's action. They want to take his action, and that guy might win some, but more than likely over time this guy is a losing sports bettor. So that sports book is willing to take his big action, 50,000, 100,000. If that sports book is taking his action, more than likely he is a loser, and so that book is welcoming his action. So those guys you do not want to follow because they're actually losing. Or they're faking tickets. So keep that in mind. The last one is probably the most important that you got to listen to, because what they do is all about the hard sell. So if they are trying to hard sell you, they criticize you, you're going to lose and all these things. And if they're trying to sell you real hard on following them. And if they're making these calls, and they're constantly hitting you up trying to get you to buy from them, more than likely that is not a real sports professional handicapper, and that's because they really need you to buy their plays, because that's how they're actually making money. Because if you think about it, a real pro does not need you to buy his plays, and he'll present it to you. He'll present you the offer, but he doesn't need you to buy it because he can just go make those plays in the book himself and win it. So, if these guys are trying to hard sell you, that's a hard no. So those are three ways that you can spot these fake handicappers. So keep an eye out, and you know keep that in mind as you progress with your sports betting. And if you found a guy that you're following, and you're liking his plays and the way it's going for you, stick with it and give them a positive review. And that's the best way that you can help those kind of guys get their word out, right? Instead of these scammers with the big egos trying to take over and put the wrong message out there. All right, good luck in the books.